Okay, so I've been asked to show how I get my maps from my Astro unit to Google Earth Pro to make them nice maps that I use for hunter education. I'm going to go through all the steps I use. Some of them may be too much detail for you, in which case, just don't use them. You do need to have the latest version of Google Earth Pro. Older versions won't work with Basecamp anymore. They just did something in it. They don't communicate anymore. So you open up Basecamp, which I have here on the screen, and you plug in your Astro unit. It's going to ask you if you want to enter base station mode, and you answer no. Then it will load up over here on the left-hand side, Astro 320 unit. You may have a 430 internal storage. Once it's loaded up, click on internal storage, and everything on the Astro will show up down below on internal storage. Then you select the track you want to edit. In this case, we're going to click 920, which is a big mess. And then I like to zoom in so that I can delete off all the crap that's not related to a track. Sometimes the unit will pull up the drive in, the drive out. If you did another hunt and there's another hunt on here, it'll show like lines like this one that have absolutely nothing to do with the track. I also like to delete off the walk in and walk out because that has absolutely nothing to do with the track. So in this case, we're parked here. So I'm going to start there, but then I need to stop right here. So I need to figure out where that is. So that's down here at 36. So from 36, then I'm going to scroll up. So then you're going to hit Shift, click, and it's going to highlight all of those in gold. And then right click, delete. So those are gone. So my walk in is gone. Then I'm going to find the end, which is here. And there's a lot of mess here because I hung out here for a long time. So we'll try this. So click there, then Shift, left click. I got a lot of it and didn't get all of it. And right click, delete. So obviously I need to get rid of this thing. Got a lot of this that we don't need. So say from 587 down. There, I got rid of all that. So right click, delete. So all that's left is the actual track. Good. Close this box out. So then you got the actual mess that was this track. And so you come over to the left, click the track. Then even though you may have another track on here with more waypoints, it doesn't matter because you're only going to be zooming in on this little section of Google Earth. So go down and Shift, left click, get them all. And then go up here to View. Click View, Google Earth, Selected Items. And Google Earth will open. Takes it a minute. It's a pretty big program. Alright. So it didn't zoom right in because there were other bits. So come over here to Temporary Basecamp, I'm going to open up Basecamp. Oops. I scrolled up too far. Tracks. Paths. Paths. 720. Double click on that and it's going to zoom me right in to the track. There. And it's on an angle, which I like for the pictures. Just come back here. If you don't like that, if you want a completely up and down version, go up here to View, Reset, and then Tilt, and it'll make it flat again. But I like it like this. This is how I do most of mine because it shows the terrain. So now we have this here, and I unclick points because we don't need the points. We just need the tracks and the waypoints. So then I go up to waypoints, and I want all the blood to be blood, which also means that some of the things that aren't blood will show up as something else, but then I can go back in and fix them. So click on waypoints, then right click, properties, style and color. I want them to share a style. And I have a little folder with different images that I use. So you go up here to the pin, click this, add a custom icon, which I have, or you can just choose one of these that's up here on the screen. I happen to have a custom icon. So I go to where it is on my computer, map icons, and I have a little blood spot. So there's my little blood spot. So I click OK, OK. And I want them smaller, and I don't want them to have a label. So 0 for label, so the writing goes away. And scale is 0.7. That makes them a more reasonable size. Okay. But now my tree stand and my dead deer are also a blood spot, so I have to fix those. So I'm going to go here to the pointy indicator shows on that, and I'm going to right click, properties, and it's a tree stand. So I also have another custom icon that I downloaded offline. So I'm going to browse, it's in here, and I have a couple different tree stands. There's a ladder stand, which I have, and then I've got a regular little tree stand. So there's my regular little tree stand. So okay. And okay. But I'm going back to style and color because I actually want it to say tree stand. So I'm going to give it a 0.7 also. And the words tree stand should show up. There they are. Okay. Then this one is where the dead deer was. So properties, style and color. Oops. Let's see. Properties. Okay. Then custom icon. And again, you don't have to pick a custom icon. You can just pick anything off their regular icons. I just happen to have these custom icons in here, so I use them. There's my deer. But I want in brown. So then I click some sort of a brownish shade. There we go. And okay. And I'm going to rename it because the Astro doesn't have a marker, waypoint marker that's useful for a dead deer. So I usually just mark the dead deer as a covey. Then I have to rename it, so we'll just rename it dead deer. And because it was a covey, I need to delete this off. Okay. Style and color. So make the words 0.7, the deer 0.7, And there he is, right there. Okay, so we're almost done. Then just need to zoom in. Till it fills your screen. And if you have a particular identifying thing that the hunter doesn't want you to show, you're better off sometimes spinning like this is something the hunter doesn't want to show. So sometimes you're better off spinning the map around by left clicking and grabbing that north, and then you can spin it around. And then that avoids having an identifying feature that the hunter didn't want shown. Okay, so then I have that, and it shows the terrain, and it shows our adventure out here where there's something dead, very dead. So that's that, and then I come down here and I do a screenshot. This is snipping tool. That's what it's called, snipping tool. And I click new, and then I just draw a box around my track. There it is. And if you want to write on it, you can do it with a little pen on here. I tend to open it back up in my photo editing software so that I can have readable text instead of Diane scribble text. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to say, call this Bella Buck 092017. Save it there. Close this out. Close out Google Earth. Oh no, I'm not going to close out Google Earth because I need to put a pin in here. I keep a map of where all my tracks have been. So normally you just discard this, but I'll add a pin here so that I know that I tracked over here. So go back to Basecamp, and if you double click on the track again, it will tell you how much distance the dog covered. In this case, Bella covered 1.7 miles. I measured it out on my Astro while we were there, and the deer itself only traveled 500 yards, so we went like a real lot longer than that. So then I will open it up in my photo software. Okay, so now the photo software has opened up, so I'm going to click Edit, and then I'm going to go find that. One we just were working on, Bella Buck 920. Pulls it up. So then I give it some text. Put it over here in the field. Oh, that's way too big. Nine 2017. Got shot. Buck went 130. So see, it went off the screen, but I'll fix that. So I come up here to move. I got that. Alright, so I want to indicate wind. So I'm going to make sure my color's right. And then the wind was coming from, coming from here. And wind. it's just doing crazy things. So we got the wind blowing that way. And in this case, we had an additional dead something out here. So I'm just going to put dead animal in, just because. And move that. So that's done. So then I click save. It'll replace that one. Yes. Yes. And then you can go to your file and find it and view your finished product. So in this case, this is the finished product. If you have any questions, ask me, because I'm sure I missed something or something wasn't clear. But this is how I do it. This is what it ends up looking like. And most of you have seen my maps before. Unfortunately, this isn't a very exciting track because we were everywhere. But thank you for watching and hope this was helpful.